give you our keys to the game. Plus, we'll hear from manager Craig Stammen. From the Padres Radio Network, here's Sam Levitt.
San Diego Padres baseball coming up on 97.3 The Fan and the Padres Radio Network. It is opening day 2026 as today the Padres take on the Detroit Tigers. Our starting pitching matchup for game 1 of 162 on the mound for the Tigers. Left-hander Tarek Skubal, and for the Padres, right-hander Nick Pivetta. Hi again, everyone. Sam Levitt with you from inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. So good to have you with us as the Padres embark on the 58th season in franchise history, season number 5 in San Diego for yours truly, and we appreciate wherever and however you're tuned in on this very special opening day. Coming up in the next 50 minutes, we have a lot to do. You'll hear from Padres manager Craig Stammen as he gets ready to manage his first game in the major leagues. Today's starting pitcher, Nick Pivetta, Padres star right fielder, Fernando Tatis Jr., You'll also hear from Padres electric closer Mason Miller, Kevin Sheets, Manny Machado, plus a look at today's starting pitching matchup, our keys to the game, and we'll be joined by Padres radio voice Jesse Agler in just a little bit. But first, it's time to set the table, brought to you by Fraser Farms Market. Set your table with the highest quality of natural and organic products from Fraser Farms Market, a San Diego original since 1971. With 3 locations, La Mesa Vista and Oceanside, and at FraserFarmsMarket.com. Padres are coming off a second consecutive 90-win season in 2025, a 90-72 record last year, resulting in a wild card series appearance against the Cubs, a series the Padres lost 2 out of 3. Meanwhile, the Tigers have gone to the postseason 2 straight years, posting 86 wins in 2024, 87 wins in 2025. However, 2025 was a very up and down season for Detroit. Tigers were as many as 25 games above 500. They had a brutal second half, going just 28-37 after the All-Star game. Padres will aim to go to the postseason for a 3rd straight year. First time that would happen in franchise history if they can get there. Detroit, led by A.J. Hinch, now entering his 6th season as manager with the Tigers, and the Padres, led by their former reliever Craig Stammen, hired this past fall as the new Padres skipper. Today, of course, will be the first game of Stammen's managerial career. Well, the man who will take on the Tigers today is right-hander Nick Pivetta, coming off an absolutely spectacular first season with San Diego, a career-low ERA, a career-low WHIP. We'll talk plenty more about Pivetta as our pregame coverage rolls along. Here was Nick Pivetta on his last 12 months leading up to this very special opening day start.
I attribute it to, what I do in the off season, how I go about my business, but, the people that are in the room around me, the people that I've learned from since I've been here, trying to shape the mold of being what it is a Padre, and that's helped me out a lot and put me in the right direction. I'm going in the right direction. So it's just continuing to kind of move in those, those sprints, those runs, and, put one foot in front of the other and then just see where it goes from here.
Your first opening day start in your career, what's the significance of getting this kind of opportunity?
I think you just kind of look at the guys that, have gotten opening days in the past that I played with, and, they're all great pitchers, great human beings. So it's just an honor to be able to get that, and hopefully I can just start off on a good start.
Last year, you had the opportunity to pitch in San Diego, experience what the ballpark is like. What's your level of anticipation to have this opportunity in that kind of environment in particular?
Yeah, it's just excitement. I mean, I think it's just fun for us to just be able to play in front of the fans, the people who love the game. I think that's the most important thing. So as long as you're going on having fun, enjoying the moment, it's always fun to have first in the big leagues. And it's another one. So I'm excited for it.
That was today's starting pitcher, Nick Pivetta, as he gets ready to make today's start at Petco Park in game 1 of 162. Lineup today for the Padres looks like this. Fernando Tatis Jr. in right field leading off. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop batting second. Manny Machado at third base batting third. Jackson Merrill in center field batting cleanup. Miguel Andujar making his Padres debut, DHing and batting fifth. Gavin Sheets at first base batting sixth. Ramon Laureano in left field batting seventh. Freddie Fermin behind the plate today doing the catching and batting eighth. And Jake Cronenworth at second base batting ninth, with again right-hander Nick Pivetta on the mound. As we get ready for first pitch coming up at 1:10, let's go inside the Padres radio booth.
Let's take the pulse of today's game. Jesse Agler joins us for a deep dive into today's matchup in our game preview. Brought to you by Amvutra. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra and visit Amvuttra.com.
We go down the way here at Petco Park. We're joined by Padres radio voice Jesse Agler. Jesse, a very happy opening day to you as you wake up on this Thursday morning, get down to Petco Park. What are your emotions on a day like this?
Oh, I just love it so much, obviously, like everybody else. I was up 1,000 times last night, just ready to go. And I think I officially woke myself up at about 6 in the morning, and I said, might as well. And just hopped in the shower, came on down. And, there's nothing like it. And obviously the playoffs kind of have their own energy and their own special. But it's a different thing in that, there's a nervous sort of, there's high stakes in the postseason. Every pitch is kind of do or die. This is the relaxed version of that. Nothing will be decided today. Nothing major will be decided today. Obviously, there's a game, and they all count the same and all that. But, it's more a celebration of baseball. It's a celebration of coming together after the long winter. And it's really almost just as good as it gets.
Well, Jesse, let's dive right into it. Pretty interesting lineup, game one of the season. We sort of wondered all spring where Fernando Tatis Jr. would hit. It seemed like most of the spring that would not be the leadoff spot, but guess what? Today's lineup, he's back in that leadoff spot. You have Jake Cronenworth batting ninth and playing second base. You have Gavin Sheets getting the start against the very tough lefty in Tarek Skubal. When you saw today's lineup, your reaction?
Yeah, a couple of surprises for sure, and you just hit on them. I think I like the fact that Gavin is in there, starting at first base. I didn't necessarily expect it, but I do understand where Craig Stammen is coming from, kind of giving him that, hey, you earned this. But, if you were going to purely play the numbers, it's probably Nick Castellanos at first base today. But baseball is more than numbers. We don't play on spreadsheets, right? These are human beings, and I like that we're leaning into that, making the lineup. And the other thing, of course, is Fernando in the leadoff spot. He did it one time for the Padres all spring, and it was the next to last game that they played on Sunday the other day against the Diamondbacks. Of course, he was gone for a few weeks playing for Team DR in the World Baseball Classic, and he was leading off a ton for them. So, look, it's nothing foreign to Fernando. He led off 150 times for the Padres last year in 162 games. He's more than capable of doing it. He kind of said that he would be most comfortable doing so if there were guys on base for him when he comes up, throughout the day. That's obviously a best-case scenario. Look, does it mean he's going to lead off 150 times this year? It doesn't. Might he? Sure, we'll have to wait and see. But, right out of the chute, it does qualify as a little bit of a surprise, just, I guess, based upon everything we saw during the spring. But Tony and I, we had this conversation 75 times during the Cactus League this year. And every single time we kind of, put it out there that, look, there's a very real possibility that nothing we are seeing in spring training will matter come opening day. And we may have just walked right into that here today.
Jesse, let's focus on the starting pitching matchup today, as you usually do on opening day. It's a good one. Nick Pivetta on the mound for the Padres, Tarek Skubal on the mound for Detroit. Let's focus on the Pivetta part of it. I think when you zoom out, you look at his journey the last 12 months from signing last spring training, last year, what he did, getting this start on opening day, first of his career. This has been a pretty remarkable run as a San Diego Padre for Nick Pivetta.
Yeah, a 2.87 ERA last year after he had never had an ERA below 4. So he goes and has the career year after signing a little bit into spring training last year, starts game one of a playoff series, and now basically 13 and a half months later, he's an opening day starter. It is a tremendous story and a well-earned honor here this afternoon for Nick. I'm thrilled for him on a personal level, and I'm excited to watch him pitch because every time he took the ball last year, it became a little something of an event. Struck out 200 guys last year, really top 10 in the National League in every important pitching category, and the kind of guy you want to see on the mound opening day against obviously one of, if not the best pitcher in baseball. You can kind of make the argument if you want to go Skubal, Skeens, Crochet. Well, Skeens didn't get out of the first inning today at Citi Field in his opening day start against the Mets. So maybe it's really just, Skubal or Crochet right now in that conversation. But, look, Tarek Skubal is obviously as good as it gets in the major leagues. And so to see him and Nick get to go head-to-head today is pretty exciting. And as you said, it's what opening day is all about.
Mm-hmm. Well, opening day, certainly a celebration of Padres baseball and baseball across the country. Also a celebration of you today, Jesse. The team announcing a multi-year extension with Jesse Agler yesterday. Very, very good news. So, Jesse, congratulations to you on this opening day as well. As always, appreciate the time.
Very kind of you, Sam. I appreciate that. Not at all about me on this opening day, but that is very nice of you. And I'm very appreciative of Eric and the Padres and everybody who made that happen. And there is no place better to be. So I'm very, very lucky and thrilled to begin this season and to go on the ride again with Tony and you and Dave Marcus. And we'll see where this thing takes us.
All right, sounds good. That's Jesse Agler joining us on our EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show. Yes, a clean slate, a new beginning as we see what 2026 has in store for your San Diego Padres. Should be a very fun ride, and we get it all started here today on the Padres Radio Network. When we come back, we hear from Padres new manager, Craig Stammen, for the very first time this season on our pregame coverage. A lot of good insight on this lineup on opening day, on today's pitching matchup, and much, much more to come. We're just getting started from inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. First pitch coming up at 1:10. It's opening day 2026 live from downtown San Diego right here on the Padres Radio Network.
You're listening to the EcoWater.
Our EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. First pitch coming up at 1:10 as the Padres begin a brand new season. Nick Pivetta on the mound for the Padres today. Tarek Skubal on the mound for Detroit. Well, as we get ready for today's game, as always, a reminder, today's pregame coverage is brought to you by EcoWater SoCal, keeping it soft since 1925. Visit EcoWaterSoCal.com or call 760-350-3030. 888-338-3338. We took a look at the Padres lineup a little bit earlier. Just quickly again before we hear from Padres manager Craig Stammen. Fernando Tatis Jr. in right field leading off. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop batting second. Manny Machado at third base batting third. Jackson Merrill in center field batting cleanup. Miguel Andujar, the DH, batting fifth. Gavin Sheets at first base batting sixth. Ramon Laureano in left field batting seventh. Freddie Fermin behind the plate batting eighth. And Jake Cronenworth at second base and batting ninth. Of course, a big headline for the Padres today, Craig Stammen beginning his managerial career at the helm for the San Diego Padres. The former Padres reliever ready to go on this opening day. Let's hear from the new Padres skipper.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres skipper Craig Stammen. Served up by Sinley Food. If you've had better chicken, you must be a rooster.
What are your expectations for your first opening day as manager officially?
Well, I expect us to win, that's why we're showing up to play. It's going to be an exciting day. Opening day is first day of school, first day of anything. Baseball season starting. We're all excited about that.
I know you said yesterday you were toying around with some different lineups. How did you come to the decision that you did?
It's pretty easy with the players that we have to put them in the lineup and then decide where they're going to bat. So as you can see, our best players are batting at the top and our really good players are right behind them.
With Tatis at the top and Cronenworth's 9 against the lefty, do you view that as like a kind of second leadoff man, a table setter, even though he's batting ninth?
Maybe. I just think it's someone that, can get on base down at the bottom of the lineup and then have somebody on base when Toddy comes to the plate. Fermin's down there also. Like those two guys had the best spring training. So, and they're batting 8th and 9th in our lineup. So we got a deep lineup and excited to see how they show out today.
How much does that help? Like we talked a lot about where Tatis would hit and whether he needed guys in front of him. How much does like the depth of your lineup and having those guys at 8 and 9 make him hitting one maybe like a little different?
Yeah, it does make it a little bit different. He's a dynamic player. We want him to be in situations where he can impact the game. And I think with the lineup the way it is, hopefully that, is what happens. And we'll, like I said, just because this is the lineup on opening day doesn't mean it's going to be for 162. We're going to switch it up as we go.
You've been through a lot of opening days, the first one in this capacity. Did you find yourself maybe reverting to some older habits to prepare to come to the ballpark today, or are you doing something a little bit differently?
Well, I showed up way earlier than what I would have as a player. But it's exciting nonetheless. In the way, I feel less nervous because I don't have to go outperform. My skills aren't on display, but in the way, I'm probably a little bit more nervous, just because there's decisions that have to be made during the game, but that are, decisions that you don't know are coming. But either way, excited, just to get out here and play a real game.
The length in that lineup, something that we haven't seen a whole lot in many years in San Diego. When you're writing a two-time All-Star in the 9-hole, like how comforting is that?
Yeah, Jake's a great player, and him batting ninth is not indicative of the type of spring training he had, the type of player he is. I just feel like our best chance with our lineup 1 through 9, it's not 9 individual hitters, but a group of 9 being able to score runs. I feel like that's the best way we can make that happen.
Victor, how much do you appreciate Nick Pavetta's opening day honor, just in light of the journey he's had and the ups and downs that he's had in his career just using his corner?
Yeah, if you're a pitcher, you want one of two things. You want to be the opening day starter, or you want to be the closer. And he reached that goal of being an opening day starter. So pretty cool for him, exciting. I can only think about what it would be like if I was in his shoes. And it's just an amazing honor for him to come out here on opening day for this team this year.
How many times did you change this first lineup? And was it ever going to be anybody but Tatis leading off?
Yeah, a million times for spring training. I think I put about a different lineup throughout spring training the whole entire time. So we were constantly seeing who looked good in the leadoff spot. Tatis was gone for a long time, so we got to try a lot of different things. In the end, he led off for us a bunch last year. He led off for Team Dominican Republic, the entire World Baseball Classic. They did pretty well offensively. We felt like he was our best chance against left-handed pitching.
Did that sway you at all or convince you at all, seeing what he did in that leadoff spot for in the WBC?
Not really. I believe Fernando can do about anything. And so whether he's batting leadoff, second, third, fourth, he could hit well in any spot and impact the game in any spot. How does he impact our team collectively, I think that's in the leadoff spot, especially today.
You had a few guys for kind of the first base DH, you had a few options there, and you ended up with Gavin against the left-hander. What kind of went into that decision?
Yeah, I felt Gavin, similar to Nick, getting the opening day nod as a starting pitcher. Gavin has earned that right to get the opening day start at first base. He's a leader, a connector on our team, someone we trust heavily, and he had a great spring training. He was one of our hottest hitters at the end, and so I felt like he deserved the start at first base no matter who was on the mound for the opposing team.
With the bullpen, obviously, Mason as the ninth, do you believe that guys should have defined roles outside of that? Like one guy handles the eighth inning, one guy handles the seventh inning, or is it more of a matchup type base where you're going to use guys this year?
Yeah, probably a combination of those two things. I think guys want to know a little bit of not specific role, but time frame of when they're going to be pitching in the game and who they might be facing. And then, so that's kind of your roles and your matchups at the same time. So we want certain guys facing certain hitters, and we want certain guys pitching at a certain point in the game.
Which is the message for the fans and the wins of sale for the team for these new seasons?
Message for the fans is you guys are extreme home field advantage for us, and can't wait to feel that energy today.
That was new Padres manager Craig Stammen earlier today inside the Padres dugout. Very exciting for Craig to be getting started as the new skipper at the helm as the Padres begin this 2026 season. Sam Levitt back with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. It is an absolutely gorgeous day here in downtown San Diego. Fans are filing in. And by the way, we will have some of the introductions here at Petco Park for you coming up around 12:50 or so. So stay tuned for that. Give you a little opening day feel here at Petco Park. But right now, let's take you around the horn.
Let's examine the most important news and the latest information you need to know in the world of Major League Baseball. Sam Levitt takes you around the horn. Presented by Valley View Casino and Hotel. Get ready for Major League winning when you join Valley View Casino and Hotel's Players Club and receive over $200 in free instant offers. Visit valleyviewcasino.com to learn more today.
Couple of big picture headlines for you. Couple of headlines as of today for you from around Major League Baseball. The first headline is hello to the ABS Challenge System, officially beginning last night in San Francisco. First time we'll see it in a Padres game here today. And in case you somehow missed it, it'll give teams two opportunities to challenge the home plate umpires. Pitch calls from the pitcher, batter, or catcher. If the challenge is successful, the team retains its challenge. If unsuccessful, they lose the challenge, and I'm pretty certain we're going to see a little bit of that here today at Petco Park. A whopping 8 managers begin a tenure with their new team here on opening day. Skip Schumacher with the Rangers, Kurt Suzuki with the Angels. Last night it was Tony Vitello with the Giants, Greg Albernaz with the Orioles, Derek Shelton in Minnesota, Blake Butera with Washington, Walt Weiss in Atlanta, and of course Craig Stammen with the Padres here today. A couple of other notes for you. Brewers placing star outfielder Jackson Chourio on the 10-day IL earlier today because of a fracture in his left hand, an injury that occurred when he was playing for Team Venezuela in the WBC in early March. And finally, Mets adding former Padre outfielder Tommy Pham today on a minor league deal, adds to the Mets' depth as their season gets underway against the Pirates. And we'll have a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard coming up in just a little bit as well. Well, Fernando Tatis Jr. leading off for the Padres today, back in that top spot. The Padres going up against two-time reigning Cy Young Award winner Tarek Skubal, about as tough of a matchup as it gets here on opening day. Here was Fernando Tatis Jr. with a little humor when he was asked about how you find success against a guy like Tarek Skubal.
Pray. No, but just go out there and compete and put a good at bat against the Cy Young caliber pitcher, but it's definitely going to be a good battle out there.
Fernando, since you've gone to right field, you have a kind of a special relationship with the fans out there. When you run out there for the first time opening day, take me through the emotions. What's that like?
Just happiness all the way around, I'm probably more happy that they are. Probably have more drinks than me that day. But, just happy to be out there and show some love and just be part of this beautiful environment and this beautiful game.
when you already have high intensity games under your belt, meaningful at bats under your belt, how does that potentially help you when you do have to face a Skubal, a Framber Valdez 1-2 right out of the gate?
I mean, we're game ready, and we were doing it already before the season started. So, like I said, we're gonna go out there and give a really good competition.
How do you feel physically and mentally right now compared to how you felt going into seasons in the past?
Older or less younger. I'm still young, but no, just I'm in a great spot. So I'm gonna show it by doing my work out there.
That was Padres right fielder Fernando Tatis Jr. inside the Padres clubhouse earlier as Fernando gets ready for this opening day. El Nino, all smiles yesterday at the workout, and he is ready to rock as the Padres begin this brand new season. Still a lot to do on our pregame coverage. When we come back, we'll give you the latest on the injuries for the Padres. There are some to discuss here on opening day. You'll also hear from Mason Miller, Gavin Sheets, Manny Machado, and much, much more to come as we get ready for game 1 of 162, opening day 2026 here at Petco Park on the Padres Radio Network. EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network here on opening day 2026 at Petco Park. Sam Levitt with you inside the Western Metal Building as we get ready for first pitch coming up at 1:10. Jesse Agler, Tony Gwynn Jr. getting ready for their first call of the regular season here in 2026. We'll hear from Manny Machado in just a bit, so stay tuned for that. But first, let's update you on the injuries for the Padres entering this regular season.
Who's in, who's out? This is the Bada Fulkerson Injury Report, presented by San Diego's Bulldog Injury Attorneys, who hope you're never in an accident. But if you are, make Bada Fulkerson the first call you make. Hit them up 24/7 at badafulkerson.com.
A number of injuries to discuss. Let's begin with Joe Musgrove, who did speak with the media earlier today inside the clubhouse. We may play some of that for you a little bit later in the postgame or even tomorrow during the pregame. But Joe started an exhibition against Great Britain in early March. He's not pitched since due to elbow inflammation. And Joe continues to now start working his way back again. Of course, the bigger picture is Joe is working his way back from Tommy John surgery. Sounds like Joe's going to start building up again and hopefully be back sooner rather than later. But it has been a bit of a pause going back to spring training for Joe Musgrove. Infielder Sungmoon Song begins the season on the IL with right oblique tightness, suffered an oblique injury in the offseason, then aggravated it again in early March. Right-handed reliever Jason Adam ruptured his left quad tendon last September. He slowly built up in spring training, making 2 scoreless appearances in the Cactus League during the final week of spring. It shouldn't be too long until we see Adam again. He appeared to be very much on the cusp of returning at the end of spring, but the Padres are playing it pretty cautious with him as he starts the season on the IL. And finally, Yuki Matsui, who dealt with a left groin strain early in spring training, ended up missing the World Baseball Classic for Team Japan. Sounds like he'll face hitters coming up pretty soon, could be back at some point during May. And that's a look at our injuries as the Padres begin this regular season. Certainly Song, Adam, Matsui, Musgrove, all guys that could be on this roster pretty soon once they get back to full health. And we'll keep you posted on the injuries each and every day here on our pregame coverage throughout the season. Let's take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this opening day.
Let's take a trip around the bigs to highlight the scores that matter most with our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Premium Beef Patties. Always a hit for grilling.
Well, yesterday we had the season opener between the Yankees and Giants in San Francisco. Yankees won 7-0. Game's going on right now. Mets beating the Pirates 9-5 in the 6th inning in New York. The Mets knocking Paul Skeens out of that game in the 1st inning. Brewers 5, White Sox 1 in the 4th inning in Milwaukee. Nationals 7, Cubs 2 in Chicago in the 4th inning. Twins and the Orioles are scoreless in Baltimore in the 2nd. Everything else coming up in a little bit or later on today. Red Sox and the Reds in Cincinnati at 1:10. Andrew Abbott against Garrett Crochet. Angels and the Astros at 1:10 in Houston. It is Jose Soriano on the mound for the Angels. Hunter Brown on the mound for Houston. Rangers and the Phillies at 1:15 in Philadelphia. Nathan Eovaldi on the mound for Texas. Christopher Sanchez on the mound for the Phillies. Rays and the Cardinals in St. Louis at 1:15. Drew Rasmussen against Matthew Liberatore in that one. Diamondbacks and the Dodgers in LA at 5:30. Zach Allen against Yoshinobu Yamamoto in that one. Guardians and the Mariners at 7:10. Logan Gilbert against Tanner Bybee, the pitching matchup tonight in Seattle. And that is a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this opening day. Well, Manny Machado, no doubt a very, very significant part of this Padres team. The veteran third baseman and future Hall of Famer spoke with the media inside the clubhouse earlier today.
You've been part of a lot of opening days, of course, in your career. What continues to make it special?
I mean, it's just the first day of school, basically. We work hard in the off season, work hard out spring training for this moment, right? It's I play in front of some fans during spring training, but not in front of your home fans in your home ballpark. So, to get that out the way today, just feels great to go out there and be a part of that.
What are you most looking forward to today, just being back at Petco Park in front of you?
Just everything, overall, just a day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to play baseball and, a beautiful day to be a Padres. So just go out there, put that uniform on and play in front of these fans.
Do you feel any more ready because of the WBC today than maybe other opening days when you haven't played meaningful baseball yet?
No, I mean, I think they're all the same. You can never compare. Definitely WBC was, something that was a little bit more competitive. It's a short tournament, but I feel ready to go. I was ready to go since every year is the same. As soon as I get to spring training, I'm ready to go. Ready to get the season started and, get it on the road.
Pretty standard on opening day that you face the other team's ace. When you face a guy like Tarek Skubal, what are the keys on a day like today?
Go and try to beat him, right? I think that's the goal. Just try to go out there, put some competitive at-bats and, put some more runs on the board than the other team. So, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be the first time I face him. I mean, I faced him in the All-Star game, but that doesn't really count. So, you know, to go out there and see what he's been doing. I mean, obviously he's had a great career. He's had a great past 2 seasons. You know, so to go out there and compete with the best, you know, that's what we sign up for.
Manny, some changes for the Padres this season as well as some of the other NL West division rivals. What are you expecting out of this season?
Health. I think that's the most important part, just health. Go out there and be healthy and play some healthy baseball.
Having played with Craig Stammen, are you excited to see him take his first real managing game today?
Yeah, I mean, it's official now. You know, spring training's over. You know, I kind of joke around that spring training is fake. Now the real work begins. So, yeah, definitely excited for him, his family, and for everyone, and for the Padres as well. So, yeah, looking forward to that tonight.
Stammen said yesterday this is like the best lineup offense you guys have had in a while.
Sorry, say that again.
Stammen said yesterday that this is like the best offense the Padres have had in a while. Why will this team be better offensively, in your opinion, than last season?
Honestly, time will tell. I mean, I don't really know. I don't really get too far into it. You know, we have a lot of the same guys that are coming back. We got a couple new faces here and there, but just growing. I think every year we grow, we get better as a team, as a group, as a collective group, and we learn from the past. So, you know, hopefully we gain some of that momentum that we've gained the last few years, and you know, go out there and put up a good season.
Castellanos said to ask his teammates how he's fitting in the clubhouse. So how is he fitting into this clubhouse?
He's great. He's been awesome. He's been awesome to be a part of this group. He's fitting well. I think he fits in really well with the group that we have here. And as you can see, I think he brings the best out of everyone, and we bring the best out of him. And you know, his work ethic is through the roof, and you know, everybody feeds off of that. You know, we go out there, and I think it's kind of setting the tone for everybody. You know, not just himself, but you know, Ty and Andujar and you know, Johnson. You know, we're all putting in the work, and it's pushing everybody to go out there and be together.
The sight, sound, smells. What are you most excited about for opening day 26?
Everything, just everything. I think it's just a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's the start of something beautiful. So, just a beautiful baseball day.
The start of something beautiful. Well said, Manny Machado. Couldn't agree more as we continue to get ready for opening day 2026 here at Petco Park. When we come back, we'll tell you what to watch for in today's game, hear from some other Padres players, plus we also give you a little feel inside the stadium here in downtown San Diego, some of the pregame introductions as we get ready for first pitch coming up at 1:10 right here on the Padres Radio Network.
We'll be right back.
Padres baseball coming up here on 97.3 The Fan and the Padres Radio Network on this opening day 2026. Sam Levitt with you from inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. Let's tell you what to watch for in today's game.
What's the one thing Sam Levitt will be keeping his eye on in today's game? This is What to Watch For. Presented by Genesis Home Improvements, San Diego's trusted painting, roofing, and window company. Save 15% today on a new beginning for your home. Visit GenesisHomeImprovements.com.
What to watch for in today's game? How about Tigers top prospect Kevin McGonigal, how he fares in his major league debut. McGonigal made the Tigers roster out of spring training. He's playing shortstop today and batting sixth. He was the 37th overall pick in 2023, ranked as the second best prospect in the game right now by MLB.com. McGonigal is just 21 years old, but he can really hit. He had 308 across more than 180 games in the minor leagues last season, has plenty of pop. He can run. Won Arizona Fall League MVP last year at 1210 OPS in 90 plate appearances last fall. So a little look at the Tigers for you. Kevin McGonigal playing third base and batting sixth today. Very, very highly touted prospect, and he will make his major league debut. So keep an eye on him today. Hopefully the Padres can limit him, make it not such a sweet major league debut. Well, Mason Miller, certainly a big part of this Padres bullpen, the flamethrower ready to go. Here was Mason inside the clubhouse earlier.
Mason, this is your first opening day as a Padre here at Petco Park after getting the experience of playing here last year. What's your level of anticipation for opening day in this place in particular?
Yeah, they set the bar really high last year, so I have every anticipation that that's going to be the same way all year this year.
This is a very deep bullpen, a lot of talent, a lot of high-octane arms. When you look at this group as a whole, what stands out?
It's hard to pick one thing. You could put any number of guys, any guy in any situation. I think we're going to feel pretty good about it because, we have guys that have a lot of experience, a lot of talent, and, part of being a cohesive unit is feeding off each other, and we're going to feed off each other's success and learn from each other's failures too. But, as a group, we're going to grow all year.
A closer's intro music is always significant. This is a city that has a history of that with Trevor Hoffman and Hell's Bells. Is there any clue, any indication you'd give the fans before they hear it on what they might hear?
I think they'll like it, whatever it is. So the clubbies helped me pick it out. So, we're going to be in a good spot. I told somebody, I was like, the song's not for me, it's for everybody else. So I hope everybody else enjoys it.
Now, looking forward to seeing what that intro music is for Mason Miller. Should be a lot of fun to see Mason make his first appearance of 2026. Well, certainly the Padres taking on a tough customer today in Tarek Skubal on the mound for the Detroit Tigers. Skubal, two-time reigning Cy Young Award winner in the American League. Skubal, arguably the best pitcher in the game right now. Nick Pivetta making the start for the Padres, finished sixth in Cy Young Award voting in the National League last season. Let's get a little feel of opening day here at Petco Park. Send it to Petco Park PA announcer Alex Miniak.
Infielder number 21, Nick Castellanos. Infielder number 24, Sun Moon Song. Infielder number 25, Todd Press. Outfielder number 29, Brooks Johnson. Pitcher number 40, Jason Adams. Pitcher number 1, Yuki Matsui. Pitcher number 22, Mason Miller. Pitcher number 50, Adrian Morejo. Pitcher number 56, Jeremiah Estrada. Pitcher number 58, Wandy Peralta. Pitcher number 66, Jacob Morgan. Pitcher number 68, Kyle Burks. Pitcher number 72, Bradley Rodriguez. Pitcher number 97, Rob Maranaccia. In the bullpen, pitcher number 98, Randy Vasquez. Pitcher number 10, Walker Buehler. Pitcher number 17, Griffin Kennedy. Pitcher number 33, Herman Marquez. Pitcher number 34, Michael Kidd. And pitcher number 44, Joe Musgrove. And
that was Padres public address announcer Alex Miniak introducing some of the Padres players here at Petco Park. Now the Tigers starting lineup being introduced. The Padres starting lineup will be introduced shortly as well. On opening day 2026 should be a lot of fun. You got to love all the pageantry here on opening day. It's what it's all about as we begin a brand new season here in downtown San Diego. A few quick keys for you today. Key number 1, get it to the pen with the lead. The Padres bullpen, no doubt, will be a major strength for this group out of the gates. The Padres bullpen was the best in baseball last season, a 3.06 combined ERA, but by far and away the lowest ERA of any bullpen in baseball. Key number 2, somehow get the Scooble. Tarek Skubal begins his quest to join Greg Maddux and Randy Johnson as the only pitchers to win as many as 3 consecutive Cy Young Awards. It's a tough test today, but the Padres offense has to find a way to at least scratch across some offense against Tarek Skubal. And key number 3, more pop. The Padres hit the 3rd fewest home runs in baseball last season. They had a major lack of slug. We know that, 152 of them last season. Can the Padres generate more power this season, starting right here on opening day? And that's a quick look at our keys to today's game. You've been listening to the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show here on 97.3 The Fan and the Padres Radio Network. When we come back, we go inside the broadcast booth. Jesse Ackler, Tony Gwynn Jr., ready to go on this opening day 2026. A new journey begins here in downtown San Diego. First pitch and much more coming up next right here on the Padres Radio Network.